Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. It's me again in lecture number 3 in this reading course. In lecture 2 we finished doing some of the exercises on the first reading, on the first story. Last thing we did was the multiple choice question, which is about finding the meaning in context, page 10. Today we continue with the rest of the exercises in unit 1. We start with the exercise that is called matching new words and meanings. Matching new words and meanings, page 11. Okay? And as I said before, and I asked you to do, when you match, the words on the left side, okay, and on the left side, okay, that have numbers from 1 to 10, with the words or the list on the right side, okay, don't match with lines. Okay? Don't do that, okay, as I said before. I said, please, you put the letter, okay, the correct answer by putting the letter next to the word that gives the right meaning, but not by drawing lines. So here, for example, a waiting room is number H, اللي هو lounge. We write H. Okay? H. Okay? Next is number 2. Duffel bag. What does duffel bag mean? Does it mean A, B, C, D, or what? A duffel bag is what? Is number F. Duffel bag is a number F, اللي هو knapsack. Then we write F here. A duffel bag, F. Okay? Knapsack, a duffel bag. Okay, it's a special kind of bag people use while traveling. Okay? Knapsack is another meaning for duffel bag. 3, something crocheted. Something crocheted. What could it be? What does it mean? A, B, C, D. Something crocheted. Okay, it is what? Lace. Lace is number D. Okay, lace is number D. Something crocheted, lace. Bride. What is a bride? What does it mean? What could be the closest meaning to this word of similar meaning? Bride is what? J. Okay? Bride is J. Okay? It's this. Groom. Groom. End of a row. End of a row. What is an end of a row? Okay, it's aisle seat. I. End of a row. It's aisle seat. I. Aisle seat, number I. Next, medicine. Medicine is number B. Poison. B. Poison. 7. Ruin. What does ruin mean? Ruin means spoil, to damage, to destroy. A. A. 8. Pretty. Pretty. What does pretty mean? What is a similar meaning? Number E. Lovely. E. Lovely. Nine. Glance. Glance. To have a quick look. Glance. Glance. Glance is number C. To look. Last, number 10. Surprised. Surprised, of course, there's only one choice here, which is what? Number G. Shocked. G. Shocked. So the answers that you have here are what? H, F, D, J, I, B, A, E, C, G. Next exercise, practicing with idioms. Okay? As I said before, okay? An idiom, okay, is just a phrase or a group of words that are used together to give a meaning, to give a special meaning. Okay? Find the idiom in the words and idioms list. Okay? That is page 6. On page 6. Okay? On page 6. Words and idioms list. So find the idiom in the words and idioms list that means the same or almost the same. Same or almost the same as the underlined word or words, and write the correct form of it in the blank, in the space. Number 1 is done for you. Okay? She looked at me with anger. Okay? Here, we have to look for a similar meaning to the underlined words, with anger. Look for a word or an idiom in the words and idioms list on page 6, 7, and 8. What could it mean with anger? Put it in an idiom form, okay? Which is what? Dagger in her eyes. She looked at me with She looked at me with daggers in her eyes. 2. The baby was wet, so she needed to do something to make him dry. Okay? That was something that gave the woman a hard time. Okay? Because she had to take care of the baby. So what was the thing that made her tired and was a problem for her? Do something to make the baby dry. Which is what? Okay? She needed to, as you see in number 7. Number 7 in the words and idioms list. Number 7 on page 7. That is what? To change a diaper. She needed to change a diaper. To do something to make him dry, she needed to change the diaper. She needed to change the diaper. 3. I'll write the numbers of the words that give the meanings of these underlined words, and the numbers refer to the meanings of the words on page 6, 7, 8. Okay? So here I put for number 1, she needed to do number 7, to change the diaper. She needed to change the diaper. She needed to change the diaper, so here number 7. 7 means what? 7 from the list of the words and idioms list. Here. 7. This is it. This is number 7. This is what I mean. Okay? 7. to change a diaper or to change the diaper. So on we go. I write, when I say 8, 10, 11, I refer to this list on page 6, 7, and 8. Okay, back to the exercise. Okay, now number 3. The voice on the airline public address system said that it would soon be time for passengers to get on the airplane. To get on the airplane means what? From the words and idioms list. To get on the airplane, and that is number 5. Okay, here we said 7, and this is 5, which is what? 5. 5 is what? Okay, to get on the plane. Okay, to what? To board a flight. To board a flight. So it would soon be time for passengers to what? To board the flight. To board the flight. Number 5. Item number 5. Now we go to 4, sentence number 4. The man used a large number of, the man used a large hammer to force the nail into the wall. To force something into something. Okay? And that is what? If you refer to number 11. 11 on page 7. To drive something into something else. That's an idiom. Which means what? To drive the nail into the wall. So we write here, need to the large hammer to drive. Okay, number 11. Huh? Just put 11 and then write the to drive. Same, the nail into the wall. Okay, to drive. To drive. Okay, to drive the nail. To drive the nail into the wall. To drive the nail into the wall. Next on this page, lower 5. It is a good idea to keep valuable things in a safe place in a bank. So, a safe place in a bank means what? According to the list on the previous pages, in the exercise words and not exercise list of words and idioms list. What is it? A safe in the bank. It is a good idea to keep valuable things in. Okay, number 3, which is what? A bank vault. A bank vault. Okay? A bank vault. A bank vault. Next is this is the end of it. Number 5 is the end of this exercise. Now we go to the next page, next exercise on the next page. Next exercise on the next page is what? Exploring the ideas. Again, this is a very important this is not important. Okay, we are going to leave this. No, this is not one of the important. The next one is also not very important for us because it needs sort of an interaction between students and then the teacher. Okay, so you can do it by yourselves. Okay, and you have an example done for you. Well, let's first know what inference means. Inference from the verb infer. What does inference mean? We are talking here about this letter. We are here. Just to know the word as a title of this exercise, making inferences. Inferences from infer. Infer. That means what? To draw conclusions. Or to drive a conclusion. To draw a conclusion. يعني, in a way, to guess something. From knowing, some information about, something, then you can come to a conclusion through the information that you have about a particular thing. So what we call in Arabic, الاستنتاج. Okay? And that means questions like these or items like this, you don't find exact and literal answers to these questions. You have to infer them. You have to guess them. To استنتجهم. Okay? Inference. Read the numbered sentences, then read the sentences under it. Which ones are true? Because the numbered sentences is true. Because the numbered sentence is true. Circle the letter in front of each statement that is probably true. For example, Sarah looked at Jane with daggers in her eyes. That could mean what? What do you infer? And this is a statement. What do you infer from this statement? شو بتستنتج من هاي الجملة? Do you have 5 choices? Which of these are possible? Which of these can apply to or can be inferred from this sentence? Sarah was very upset about something. Yes, possible. Then true. Jane was a convenient person to be angry with. True. Then circle. And Sarah didn't know how to express her feelings. For example, I do with you number 2, but still you do the rest, and as I've just said, this could not be that important for the final exam. Chandra looked very tired. Why? For which reason? A is possible. Chandra had traveled a long way already with the 3 children. Yes. Like if you say B, Chandra did not like traveling. No, this is not a good inference. Because it doesn't, fit with the topic sentence, with the main sentence. So we say, we don't choose it. C, Chandra was worried about her mother. Yes. That explains this sentence. So here, Chandra, traveled on. Yes, this is correct. Chandra didn't like traveling? No. This doesn't fit because she travels a lot, seems to. Then Chandra was worried about her mother? Yes. Chandra was worried about her mother. And then Chandra did not want to fly to Cincinnati until she knew about her mother. Okay? She did not want to travel until she knew about her mother. Okay, that is also possible because she was tired. That made her very, worried about her mother. Okay, that's also possible. Chandra, he had a lot of work to do with the sick boy, with the sick baby. Nah, that is true. Okay, then you please do the rest of the exercise by yourselves. Okay, by just choosing the best statements, or the statements that explain the topic sentence, or the main idea اللي هو a number. Say for example, now we are in number 3. Number 3, there are some coincidences. That means what? What are the coincidences in the story? So the answer to this question is not directly written. So you have to find it here and there in the story. It's written, but you have to infer it. From your understanding, you can tell A, B, C, D, or E that fit this, or that are correct to explain the sentence. There were some coincidences. For example, A Is it a good? Is this part of the coincidences? Both airplanes came to Frankfurt. Yes, that is true. Okay. Jane and Chandra's mother were born on the same day. That was also a coincidence. Yani coincidence means something that happens unexpectedly at the same time. زي مصادفة. Then Jane, B is correct, possible. C, Chandra had 3 tickets in the middle of a row on the airplane. No, this has nothing to do with the coincidence. This is not a coincidence. D, then we don't choose. We do not choose this as part of the answer. D, Jane's seat was next to Chandra's seat. Now, this is also a coincidence. Jane's seat was next to Chandra's seat. The baby was sick. Is this an inference? No. Sorry. Is this an inference for the word that means coincidence? This is not a coincidence. So we don't choose it. So it's enough to say A, B, and D. A, B, and D. And next exercise is finding the main ideas. Okay? You have here about 8 main ideas. Which of these can fit this story, our story? Which of, as a title? Which title or titles are appropriate for this story? This story, the writer of the story used what? Has chosen what? Angels for one another. Angels for one another. Okay? Angels for one another. Now, which title or titles are appropriate for the story? Circle the letter in front of each one. Okay? You are given other choices. Which of these choices can be or can fit as titles? Other than Angels for One Another. The Wedding, is this title a good title for our story? I don't think so, because the story doesn't talk about the wedding or a wedding of someone. The information about the wedding is just very small or not that important. But it can't be the wedding can't be the title of this story, because the story doesn't talk mainly about the wedding of the uncles, of the girl's uncle. Sorry. A Day in Frankfurt, yes, that's possible. That's a good choice. So we say A Day in Frankfurt, yes. Coincidences, yes. We can give these words or these phrases, or these items as what? Titles to the story. We can put them with or instead of angels to one another. Coincidences, that could be a good choice. It could be a good title to our story. D, Aunt Jane helps. Aunt Jane helps. I think that's for me is also possible, because the story mainly based on the help of this lady. E, a seat on the aisle. I don't think it's right. A new cook, no. On the way to Cincinnati, what do you think? Yes, it works. On the way to Cincinnati. Talking in the waiting room. Okay, could that be also true? Can fit? Okay, talking in the waiting room on the lounge. I think it fits, because much of what is taking place, in the waiting room. And this is end of the question, finding the main idea. Now we move to the last exercise. Okay? Last exercise. Last exercise, which is very important. Okay? Reading for details. Another comprehension Question, another comprehension, exercise. Reading for comprehension. With comprehension, questions. Find the answers to these questions in the story. Number 1. What is the answer to number 1? What are the names of the people in Chandra's family? What are the names of people in Chandra's family? Yes. What are the names of the people in Chandra's family? What are they? They are what? Sarah, Emma, and the baby boy. So it's Sarah and Emma mainly. But you may add also then the baby boy. But mainly they are Emma and Sarah. Or Sarah and Emma. Sarah and Emma. Please, you write it down. What tool is mentioned okay? So, number 1, the names of the people in Chandra's family, Sarah, Emma, and the baby boy. Or Sarah and Emma is enough. If the question is about names only, so Sarah and Emma is enough as an answer. 2. What tool is mentioned that can cut? What tool is mentioned that can cut? In the story, there is a tool, a name of a tool mentioned that, that cuts. Okay, that cuts. Which is what? The scissors. Okay? It's what? The scissors. Maqas. 3. How many guests how many guests came to the wedding? How many guests came to the wedding? Which is what? 300 guests. 300 guests. I think you can refer to the answers of these questions. Like here for 300 guests, what? Line 64. Line 64. Line 64. Next, then 2, a tool that cuts, scissors. Number 3, how many guests came to the wedding? We said what? 300 guests. Line 46. 300 guests. Guests. How do we know that the family is rich? The family of the Indian lady, the Indian family. How do we know that it's a rich family? There are many different reasons to give as answers or as an answer to this question. What are these reasons? Or what could be part of the answers? We can say what? They had a very big celebration. That is true. How do we know that the family is rich? Because they had a very big celebration. Very big celebration. What else? They had treasures in the bank. They had treasures, wealth. They are very rich. They hired new servants. they hired new servants. These all hints, in a way they indicate that the Indian family was rich. 4 or 5, who put the poison in the food? Who put the poison in the food? It was what? The new cook. The new cook. The new cook, and that is what? Line 73. It was the new cook. Line 73. Number 6. What is Delhi? Define. Delhi is what? Okay, it's what? Delhi is a city in India. Okay, it is a city in India. It is not the capital. It was the capital of India in what? In 1912 to 1931. This is not important in your, this is just for you to know. Okay? Because New Delhi here is missing, sorry. In New Delhi is New Delhi is the current capital of India. So Delhi is here, this is not needed. This is just extra information for you, just for your general knowledge. Okay, you don't need it, but at least you know it. Okay? Delhi is a city in India. Okay? The capital was, it was the capital of India from 1912 to 1931. But the present, now, the current capital of India is what? New Delhi. New Delhi is the current capital of India. New Delhi is missing. You put New Delhi, please. Seven. How long was Jane's layover? How long was Jane's layover? It was what? 4-hour layover. It was 4-hour layover, and that is on line 2 at the very beginning of the very beginning of the story of the reading passage. It was 4-hour layover. It was a 4-hour layover. Okay? It was a 4-hour layover. Number 8 and the last. Why did Chandra leave her children with a stranger? Okay? This is of course not normal for people, for mothers, okay, particularly, especially for mothers, to leave her children with a stranger or with strangers. But how come, Chandra, left her children with a stranger? So why did Chandra, the Indian woman, leave her children with a stranger? What could be the reasons? There are different reasons. One of them is what? Jane watched children for a while, and that gave Chandra some time to rest. Okay, remember, Chandra went asleep. She was asleep for some time, and that was because of the help of Jane. So Jane watched the girls, and that gave Chandra good time to rest or to sleep. Then this is one reason. And then reason number 1, okay, which is this. Okay, Jane watched the children for a while, and that gave Chandra some time to rest. Number 2, okay, there could be another reason. Jane seemed to be a nice lady and was like an angel to Chandra. Because this is what Chandra told her. Jane seemed to be a nice lady and was like an angel. And like an angel to Chandra. Another reason, besides, in addition, okay, she needed to change the baby's diaper. Okay, Chandra needed to change the baby's diaper, so she needed a help from other people. So Jane was the one to help her. And here is the end of this exercise, reading for details. And that means we come to the end of the unit. By finishing, before we finish, there is here what? Last exercise. Okay? Taking a close look at the meanings of words. Okay? That is something you do at home. Okay? Read and you please make sure that you understand, but it's not important for the final exam. But something here to refer you to some of the important words that are used, or idioms that are used in the unit, in the first story. So that means that brings us to the end of the unit, and this is the end of unit 1. By finishing this exercise, we are ready in the next lecture to start with Unit 2, and which is lessons from the farm. And Unit 2 will be very similar in the style to Unit 1. So we'll do similar exercises after reading the story. But that's all for today and from me now. And soon I'll meet with you again to start Unit 2. Thank you very much. I hope that you are all fine and you enjoyed the lecture. See you later.